Don't scroll. I know you've been hurting. I know you've been silent. I know you've been absorbing their words, letting them sink into your heart like poison. You've been trying to be strong. To not let it show. To pretend their labels don't affect you. But they do. Because words wound. Not your body. Your soul. And their family has been wounding you. Not once. Repeatedly. Not accidentally. Intentionally. They have crossed their limit. Not yours. Theirs. The limit of decency. The limit of respect. The limit of love. They have called you a name. Not a term of endearment. A weapon. A word designed to diminish. To dismiss. To destroy. And you have been receiving it. Not because it's true. Because you're outnumbered. One against many. They are many. You are one. And their many voices have been drowning out the truth. The truth that you are not what they call you. Not because you're perfect. Because you're mine. And mine are not defined by the opinions of the rude. You are defined by me. Not by their family. Not by their labels. Not by their lies. By me. And I say you are enough. Not what they call you. So today, I am saying enough. Enough of their name-calling. Enough of their disrespect. Enough of their cruelty. Not because they will stop. Because you will stop receiving. You cannot control them. You can control you. And you have been letting their words in. Not because you're weak. Because you're human. And humans want to be accepted. Especially by family. Not yours. Theirs. You wanted to be accepted by their family. Not because they're special. Because they're important to the one you love. You wanted to belong. Not to their club. To their circle. You wanted to be welcomed. Not as an outsider. As an insider. But they have not welcomed you. They have rejected you. Not subtly. Obviously. With words. With labels. With names. They have called you a name. And that name has been echoing in your head. Am I really that? What if they're right? Maybe everyone thinks that about me. Stop. Not because the questions aren't valid. Because the source is not. Their family is not the source of truth. I am. And I say you are not what they call you. Not because you're perfect. Because you're mine. And mine are not defined by the labels of the rude. So take a breath. Put your phone down on a flat surface if you need to. Put your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. I put it there. I am keeping it beating. And I am about to tell you the truth about their name-calling. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. Here's what their name-calling reveals. Not about you. About them. They are insecure. Not because you make them insecure. Because they are. Insecurity is not caused by others. It is an inside job. They were insecure before they met you. Not because of you. Because of their history. Their parents. Their peers. Their past. Not because you failed. Because they are stubborn. Stubborn in their insecurity. Stubborn in their wounds. Stubborn in their refusal to heal. They would rather name-call than face themselves. Name-calling is easier than self-reflection. Not because it's good. Because it's a distraction. Distraction from their own pain. They call you names to avoid looking at themselves. Not because you deserve it. Because they cannot bear their own reflection. Their reflection is painful. Not because they're evil. Because they're broken. Broken people break others. Not because they want to. Because they're broken. And broken glass cuts. You have been cut. Not because you're weak. Because they're sharp. Their words are sharp. Designed to wound. Not because they're strategic. Because they're reactive. Reaction is not strategy. Reaction is pain. They are reacting to their pain. Not to you. You are just the target. Not because you deserve it. Because you're there. Proximity is not guilt. You are not guilty of their pain. They are. So stop accepting guilt that is not yours. Not because you're innocent of everything. Because you're innocent of this. Their name-calling is not your fault. Their insecurity is not your fault. Their wounds are not your fault. You did not cause them. You cannot cure them. You can only care for them. Not by accepting their labels. By rejecting them. Rejection is not cruelty. Rejection is self-protection. You are worth protecting. Not because you're perfect. Because you're precious. And precious things need protection. Protect yourself. Reject their labels. Not with anger. With truth. That is not who I am. I am a child of God. And God does not call me that. Say it. Not to convince them. To remind yourself. Remind yourself of the truth. Not their lie. The truth. And the truth will set you free. Not from the name-calling. From its power over you. Their words will still come. But they will not stick. Not because you're immune. Because you're armored. Armored with truth. Truth is a shield. Not against their words. Against their power. Their words will bounce off. Not because you're hard. Because you're protected. I am your protector. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Not because weapons are weak. Because I am strong. And I am with you. So do not fear their name-calling. Not because it doesn't hurt. Because it cannot destroy you. You are not destroyed. You are shaken. Not shattered. Hurting. Not hopeless. Wounded. Not worthless. You are still standing. Not because you're strong. Because I am holding you up. And I never let go. So stand. Not in your strength. In mine. Not in your righteousness. In mine. Not in your power. In mine. Stand. And let their name-calling fall. It has no power over you. Not because you're ignoring it. Because you're rejecting it. Rejection is not ignorance. Rejection is choice. Choose to reject their labels. Not once. Every time. As the names come, reject them. That is not my name. My name is child of God. Say it. And let rejection be your shield. Not a shield of anger. A shield of truth. Truth protects. Use it. Don't scroll. Stay with me. This is where most people want to accept the labels. Don't. Here's what the name-calling is not. It is not the truth. Not because they're lying. Because they're mistaken. Mistaken about who you are. They see you through the lens of their pain. Not the lens of truth. Their lens is distorted. Not because they're stupid. Because they're wounded. Wounded eyes do not see clearly. They see threats where there are none. They see enemies where there are allies. They see faults where there are none. Not because you're perfect. Because they're projecting. Projection is not perception. Perception sees what is. Projection sees what is not. They are projecting. Not because you're a screen. Because they cannot face themselves. It is easier to blame you than to heal themselves. Not because you're blameworthy. Because they're avoidant. Avoidance is not solution. Avoidance is delay. The pain they avoid will return. Not because you cause it. Because it is theirs. They cannot give it to you. Not because you refuse. Because it's not yours. Their pain is theirs. Not yours. So stop carrying it. Not because you don't care. Because you cannot. You cannot carry what is not yours. Not because you're weak. Because you're not God. Only I can carry their pain. Not you. So give it to me. Not by accepting their labels. By releasing their pain. Release them to me. I will carry them. Not because it's easy. Because I am strong. Give them to me. And let me deal with them. You are not their savior. You are their in-law. Not their punching bag. In-laws do not punch. They have been punching. Not with fists. With words. Words wound. You are wounded. Not because you're weak. Because words are powerful. They have power. Not the power to change who you are. The power to make you feel changed. Feelings are not facts. You feel like what they call you. Not because you are. Because their words have weight. Weight presses down. You are pressed. Not crushed. Pressed. Pressed people can still breathe. Breathe. Not shallow, panicked breaths. Deep, intentional breaths. Breathe in. I am not what they call me. Breathe out. I am a child of God. Breathe. And let breathing calm your soul. Not because breathing is magic. Because it reminds you. Reminds you that you are alive. Not destroyed. Alive. And alive people can fight. Not with weapons. With truth. Fight back. Not with their weapons. With mine. My weapons are not of this world. They are powerful. Not for destruction. For liberation. Liberate yourself. Not by fighting them. By fighting for yourself. Stand up. Not in anger. In dignity. Dignity says, I will not be treated this way. Not, you are bad. I will not be treated this way. That's a boundary. Not a wall. A boundary. Set it. You will not call me that name anymore. If you do, I will leave the room. I will end the call. I will not engage. Boundary. Set it. Enforce it. Not in anger. In self-respect. You deserve respect. Not because you're perfect. Because you're human. And humans deserve respect. Even from in-laws. Especially from in-laws. In-laws are supposed to welcome, not wound. They have been wounding. Not because you deserve it. Because they are broken. Broken people break things. Even relationships. Especially relationships. Your relationship with them is breaking. Not because you failed. Because they are breaking it. Their name-calling is a hammer. Not a tool of construction. A tool of destruction. They are destroying. Not the relationship only. You. You are being destroyed. Not completely. Partially. Your self-esteem. Your confidence. Your peace. These are being destroyed. Not because you're weak. Because constant criticism corrodes. Like acid. Not dramatic. Gradual. But corrosive. You are being corroded. Not because you're not fighting. Because you're not fighting back. Fight back. Not with their weapons. With mine. Truth. Boundaries. Self-respect. These are weapons. Not to hurt them. To protect you. You are worth protecting. So protect yourself. Not by waiting for them to change. By changing your response. You cannot control them. You can control you. Control you. Not by accepting their labels. By rejecting them. Not by internalizing their criticism. By externalizing it. That is not about me. That is about you. Say it. Not to their face. To yourself. Remind yourself. Their name-calling is about them. Not you. Their pain. Their insecurity. Their wounds. Not you. You are just the mirror. They see themselves in you. Not because you are them. Because they are projecting. Projection is not reflection. Reflection shows what is. Projection shows what is not. They are projecting. Not because you are a screen. Because they cannot see. They are blind. Not physically. Spiritually. Blind to their own issues. So they blame you. Not because you're blameworthy. Because they cannot face themselves. Pity them. Not because they are victims. Because they are trapped. Trapped in their own issues. Not by you. By themselves. They have the key. Not to your freedom. To theirs. They will not use it. Not because they can't. Because they won't. Their choice. Not your failure. So release them. Not in anger. In sadness. But release. They are not your project. They are mine. Give them to me. And walk away. Not from your partner. From their labels. Walk away from the names. Not physically. Emotionally. Emotional distance is not abandonment. Emotional distance is self-preservation. You cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. Their name-calling is the environment. You need distance. Not forever. For now. Until you are strong enough. Strong enough to hear their names without flinching. Strong enough to reject their labels without effort. Strong enough to remember who you are. Not who they say you are. Who I say you are. That strength comes from me. Not from time. From me. Time alone does not heal. I heal. Not a process. A person. Come to me. Bring your wounded heart. I will heal it. Not overnight. But truly. One layer at a time. As you spend time with me. As you read my word. As you pray. As you worship. Healing comes. Not because you're trying. Because I am working. In you. Through you. For you. Because you are mine. And I heal what is mine. So come. Not when you're ready. Now. I am waiting. Not with a lecture. With love. Not with judgment. With grace. Not with disappointment. With hope. Hope for you. Not for them. You are not them. You are mine. Come. Don't scroll. Part 2 is here. And if you made it through Part 1, if you stayed when the truth about their name-calling was revealed, then you're ready for what comes next. Because Part 1 was about the name. The weapon they picked up. The projection behind it. The truth that you are not what they call you. Part 2 is about rising above their labels and walking in freedom. Not in your strength. In mine. Not overnight. Over time. But surely. The labels they have placed on you are heavy. Not because they're true. Because they've been repeated. Repetition creates weight. Even lies. Especially lies. When a lie is repeated enough, it begins to feel true. Not because it becomes true. Because repetition wears down resistance. Your resistance has been worn. Not because you're weak. Because you're tired. Tired of fighting. Tired of defending. Tired of being called names. You have been wearing down. Not because you're giving up. Because you're exhausted. Exhaustion is not defeat. Exhaustion is a signal. A signal that you need rest. Not physical rest only. Emotional rest. Rest from the battle. You need to step back. Not in defeat. In wisdom. Wisdom knows when to fight and when to rest. Rest is not laziness. Rest is strategy. You cannot fight from exhaustion. You will lose. Not because the enemy is strong. Because you are tired. So rest. Not by staying. By withdrawing. Withdraw from the battle. Not from your partner. From the name-calling. You cannot stop them from calling you names. You can stop listening. Not physically. Emotionally. Emotional withdrawal is not abandonment. Emotional withdrawal is self-preservation. You cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. Their name-calling is the environment. You need distance. Not forever. For now. Until you are strong enough. Strong enough to hear their names without flinching. Strong enough to reject their labels without effort. Strong enough to remember who you are. Not who they say you are. Who I say you are. That strength comes from me. Not from time. From me. So take a breath. Stay with me. Don't scroll. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to help you rise above their labels. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. Here is the first thing you need to do to rise above their labels. Stop repeating their names in your head. You have been replaying their words. Over and over. They called me this. They called me that. Stop. Replaying gives their words power. Not because the words are powerful. Because repetition is powerful. Every time you replay, you reinforce. Not their lie. Your belief. You begin to believe what you rehearse. You have been rehearsing their lies. Not because you want to believe them. Because you can't stop. Stop. Not by trying harder. By redirecting. When the replay starts, change the channel. Not by ignoring. By replacing. Replace their label with my label. They called me worthless. But God says I am valuable. They called me a failure. But God says I am more than a conqueror. They called me stupid. But God says I have the mind of Christ. Replace. Not once. Every time. As the replay starts, replace. And let replacement break the cycle. Not because your words are magic. Because they are truth. And truth defeats lies. Not by arguing. By replacing. Replace their lies with my truth. Don't scroll. Stay with me. This is where most people want to keep replaying. Don't. Here is the second thing you need to do to rise above their labels. Surround yourself with truth-tellers. Not people who agree with everything you say. People who tell you the truth. The truth about who you are. Not who they say you are. Who I say you are. You need reminders. Not because you're forgetful. Because the lies are loud. Louder than the truth. Not because lies are stronger. Because they are closer. Close to you. Every time you're around their family. You need voices that are closer. Not physically. Relationally. Find people who will speak truth over you. Not flattery. Truth. You are not what they say. You are loved. You are valuable. You are strong. Find those people. Not by hiding. By seeking. Seek community. Not perfect people. Truth tellers. People who will remind you of who you really are. Not who they say you are. Who I say you are. Surround yourself with them. Not by chance. By choice. Choose your company. Not based on convenience. Based on truth. Truth tellers are not always convenient. They may not be available when you want. But they are available when you need. Seek them. And let their truth drown out the lies. Not because their words are louder. Because they are truer. And truth wins. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. Here is the third thing you need to do to rise above their labels. Write down the truth. Not the lies. The truth. What does God say about you? Write it. I am loved. I am chosen. I am forgiven. I am sealed. I am secure. I am valuable. I am wise. I am mine. Write it. Not on your phone. On paper. Put it where you will see it. On your mirror. On your fridge. On your nightstand. Read it every day. Not once. Multiple times. Every time a lie comes, read the truth. Not because reading makes it true. Because it is true. And reading helps you remember. You have forgotten. Not because you're stupid. Because the lies are loud. Loud lies drown out quiet truth. Not because truth is weak. Because lies are aggressive. Truth is not aggressive. Truth is confident. Confident truth does not need to shout. It just needs to be remembered. Remember. Write down the truth. And read it until you believe it. Not because you're trying. Because you're reminding. Reminding is not trying. Reminding is remembering. Remember. And let remembering set you free. Don't scroll. This is where everything shifts. Here is the fourth thing you need to do to rise above their labels. Pray for them. Not for them to stop calling you names. For them to be healed. Their name-calling is a symptom. Not of your failure. Of their pain. They are in pain. Not because of you. Because of life. But they are taking their pain out on you. Pray for their healing. Not, God, make them stop. God, heal their wounds. Heal their insecurity. Heal their fear. Pray. Not because they deserve it. Because you need to. Prayer changes you. Not always the person you're praying for. Always you. It softens your heart. Keeps you from bitterness. Reminds you that they are human too. So pray. Not once. Daily. As the names come, pray. God, heal them. They are hurting. Help them. Pray. And let prayer keep you from becoming like them. Bitter people become name-callers. You don't want to become them. Prayer prevents bitterness. Not because it's magic. Because it aligns your heart with mine. And my heart is not bitter. My heart is love. Pray. And let love keep you from becoming hateful. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. Here is the fifth thing you need to do to rise above their labels. Don't isolate. Your instinct will be to hide. To withdraw. To pull away from everyone. Not because you're antisocial. Because you're ashamed. Even though you did nothing wrong, shame comes. Shame says, hide. But hiding is not the answer. Isolation will only make the shame worse. It will give you too much time to think. To spiral. To believe the lies. So don't isolate. Stay connected. To me. To your true friends. To your community. Not to everyone. To the ones who love you. Let them in. Let them support you. Let them remind you of who you really are. Not who they say you are. Who I say you are. Don't isolate. Reach out. Not to explain. To be known. Not to defend. To be loved. Not to justify. To be held. Reach out. And let love be your shelter. Not isolation. Love. Don't scroll. Stay with me. We're halfway through part 2. Here is the sixth thing you need to do to rise above their labels. Set a boundary with your partner. Not with their family. With your partner. Your partner needs to know. Not to blame. To inform. Your family has been calling me names. It hurts. I need you to address it. Not, you need to fix them. I need you to address it. Boundary. Set it. Not in anger. In honesty. I love you. But I cannot continue to be treated this way. I need you to stand up for me. That's a boundary. Not an ultimatum. A boundary. Set it. And let your partner respond. Their response will tell you everything. If they defend you, there is hope. If they dismiss you, there is your answer. But don't assume. Give them a chance. They may not know. Not because they're blind. Because they're not the one being called names. Tell them. Not accusingly. Honestly. This is happening. It hurts. I need you. Tell them. And let their response guide your next step. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. Here is the seventh thing you need to do to rise above their labels. Limit your exposure. Not forever. For now. You don't have to attend every family gathering. You don't have to answer every call. You don't have to respond to every text. Protect yourself. Not by hiding. By choosing. Choose which events to attend. Which calls to answer. Which texts to respond to. Not based on guilt. Based on wisdom. Wisdom says, I will not put myself in a situation where I will be abused. That's not cowardice. That's wisdom. Limit your exposure. Not to punish them. To protect you. You are worth protecting. So protect yourself. Not with walls. With wisdom. Wisdom says, I will attend Thanksgiving, but not Christmas. I will answer calls from your mother, but not your father. I will respond to texts, but not immediately. Limits. Set them. Not in anger. In self-respect. You deserve respect. Not because you're perfect. Because you're human. And humans deserve respect. So limit your exposure. And let your limits be your shield. Don't scroll. We're almost through part 2. Here is the eighth thing you need to do to rise above their labels. Remember who you are. Not who they say you are. Who I say you are. You are not their label. You are my child. Loved. Chosen. Forgiven. Sealed. Secure. Valuable. Wise. Mine. Not because you're perfect. Because I am. And you are in me. Remember. Not in your head. In your heart. Write it on your heart. I am not what they call me. I am a child of God. Let that truth be deeper than their lies. Not because you're trying. Because I am. I am deeper. Deeper than their lies. Deeper than their pain. Deeper than their name-calling. I am the deepest truth. And I am in you. So remember. Not their labels. My love. My love defines you. Not their names. So remember. And rise. Listen to me. Your heart needs this right now. Here is what I want you to take with you. Their family crossed their limit by calling you a name. But you are not that name. You are mine. Now rise above their labels. Stop repeating their names. Surround yourself with truth-tellers. Write down the truth. Pray for them. Don't isolate. Set a boundary with your partner. Limit your exposure. Remember who you are. These are not suggestions. They are steps. Steps toward rising. Not a perfect rise. A true rise. Take them. Not quickly. Prayerfully. Not alone. With me. I am with you. Every step. Not watching from a distance. Walking beside you. Every step. Even the steps that feel like going backward. I am with you. And I am leading you upward. Not quickly, but surely. One step at a time. Take the next step. Not the perfect step. The next step. And I will be with you. Breathe. Put your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. I put it there. I am keeping it beating. I am not going to stop. And neither should you. Because the name they call you is not your name. Your name is Child of God. And Child of God rises. Not in fear. In faith. Not alone. With me. Rise. I am with you.